I love the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I loved its world, its battle system.
In particular,
I love the characters. It fleshed them out and showed another level of the complex yet brilliant storyline. The body language, voice acting and facial expressions allowed me to experience Final Fantasy VII in a completely new way. Heads up, this will contain spoilers from the original Final Fantasy and the remake, as I look at 5 moments I can't wait to see in the next part. Hello and welcome to Irish Style Gaming. For this video, I stuck to moments from the first disc of the original game, as there's an idea that's where the next part of the remake will end. Also, all the moments in this list should be in the next release, and I hope the wait will be as short as possible. There's some great moments from disc 2 and 3 of the original, but it could be years before we get a fresh take on that. This is a list of the emotionally powerful moments I'm looking forward to, ones that really build the character motives. So I won't break down any of my other favourites, like Hojo on the beach, going on a date in the gold saucer, and of course, Red 13 not looking suspicious at all. I'm excited about the powerful moments because of the way the remake handles them. There are a few scenes which struck me a lot harder this time around than in the original. The characters seem so real in these moments. The brutal reaction from Barret when the plate collapses. It's more than a little hard to watch as we see Barret smashing his fist into the rubble that buried his friends and home. Sometimes it was the little touches rather than the big reactions that the game handled so well. The way Barret reacted when he thought he lost Marlene and his eagerness to get her back. The facial animation when he hears she's alive and nearby says so much in a way that wasn't possible with the original graphics. It's these type of moments that makes me excited to see how the next release tackles some of my favourite scenes. I'm starting with Barret. He wears his heart on his sleeve more than any other character, and this makes me think his backstory will be one of the most powerful. The remake has fleshed Barret out in the early stages of the game. We see a few sides to him. His basic level of being angry most of the time, his paternal side with Marlene, and his fairly extreme views on the planet and how he justifies it. His backstory in Corel is what makes Barret who he is. It creates his hate of Shinra and his sense of responsibility for Marlene. I also want to see how they portray Dyne. With the limited graphics and animation at the time, we can still see he's a broken man. He's filled with hate and remorse. Seeing the voice acting and excellent character animations on this character when he discovers Marlene is still alive is going to be incredibly compelling and heartbreaking. Second, Red 13 in Cosmo Canyon. The music from this scene gets me emotional on its own. Combine it with the brilliance of the story and the dialogue, and I'm a blubbering mess. Seeing Red 13 ferociously defending the honour of his father's sacrifice in the remake is going to be one of the most cinematic moments in the game, and I can't wait. Third, Cid's backstory and introduction. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the remake handles Cid as a character. And the cinematic feel of the new game should show his backstory on another level. Cid has his dream within touching distance and throws it away to save Shera. It hangs over Rocket Town as a reminder to him every day. And I know Square Enix will get that feeling right. They've already done it with Midgar. Fourth, the burning of Nibelheim. In the original, this was our first real introduction to Sephiroth. We see him burn his own village and massacre the people. We've already got glimpses of this in the first remake as it fleshes out why Cloud and Tifa are so afraid of him. However, the original had that pre-rendered sequence which became one of the most iconic scenes of the PlayStation era, as well as cementing Sephiroth as one of the greatest villains in gaming. It may be difficult to match up to this iconic scene culturally, but I can't wait to see how the remake recreates this. Fifth, the saddest and most memorable moment of the game. Sephiroth kills Aerith. From a gameplay point of view, it seemed unbelievable that one of the main characters from your party wouldn't be there anymore. From a narrative point of view, it was heartbreaking. Cloud is in disbelief and emotional. It's an outburst compared to his normally cool exterior. This is also the moment that gives Sephiroth real weight as the villain, as this is an action he's taking against you, the player. I always remembered Cloud's words in this scene, and I think this would make a perfect ending for the next remake. That's it from me, so let me know if there's any parts you're particularly looking forward to. So far with no release date for part 2, This is all I can do to keep me sane.